I welcome I welcome Honorable Governor Chancellor Sir Shri Bandaru Dattatreya ji, the chief guest of the program, for joining this alumni meet going to be held in Chaudhry Devi Lal University, along with Professor Rajendra Kumar Anayat ji, Vice Chancellor Bhagat Phool Singh Mahila Vishwavidyalaya, the guest of honor for this program. I also welcome Professor Ajmer Singh Malik ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor Chaudhry Devi Lal University Sirsa, esteemed dignitaries, faculty members, and alumni. This is very important program to know the alumni and their experience. In continuation of the program, now I request our technical team to go for Saraswati Vandana so that we can officially start the program. I request the technical team.
Devi Saraswati, Devam Vardhan, Jai 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 Mahadevi. Jai Devi Saraswati, Devam Vardhan, Jai 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 Mahadevi.
Thank you. In continuation with the program, now I request the technical team to please play the University Kulgeet, which is an official tradition to start any function.
श्रद्धावान लभते जन्म श्रद्धावान लभते जन्म
वंदन है यह हमारा वंदन है यह हमारा वंदन है हमारा वंदन है हमारा इस देव भूमि को हर भूमि को
हमारी कर्म भूमि को
वंदन है हमारा
वंदन है हमारा इस जानालय को चौधरी देवी लाल विश्वविद्यालय को
वंदन है यह हमारा वंदन है यह हमारा वंदन है यह हमारा सरस्वती की इस नगरी में ज्ञान की बहती निर्मल धारा
भक्ति ज्ञान और तर्क प्रजा से अलंकृत वो हर कर्म हमारा आओ समग्र विकास करे मानव का कल्याण करे अभिनव सृजन से कर अभिनंदन, निज बौद्धिक विस्तार करे, नव निर्माण करे, भारत की जयगान करे।
यह हमारा वंदन है,
यह हमारा
वंदन है, यह हमारा वंदन है, यह हमारा। साहस संयम स्वाभिमान भर,
सत्य को बना अपना सहारा,
अचलताओं का तिमिर हर,
परिवर्तन हो अब लक्ष्य हमारा। आओ अपनी पहचान बने, श्रेष्ठ भारत निर्माण करे, वंचित पिछड़ों को कर शिक्षित, आओ राष्ट्र उत्थान करे, आओ नव निर्माण करे, भारत की जयगान करे।
यह हमारा वंदन है,
यह हमारा
वंदन है, यह हमारा वंदन है, यह हमारा।
Thank you. Now I invite Professor Surinder Kunduji, Director, Alumni Association, Chaudhary Devilal University, Sirsa, for presenting the formal welcome address. Please, Kundu sir.
जी, विश्व के दक्षिण एशिया में स्थित सबसे बड़ा देश, पूर्ण रूप से उत्तरी गोलार्ध में स्थित, भौगोलिक दृष्टि से विश्व में 7वां सबसे बड़ा और जनसंख्या के दृष्टिकोण से दूसरा सबसे बड़ा देश, 2021 में आयोजित 2020 के ग्रीष्मकालीन ओलंपिक खेलों में 124 खिलाड़ियों की भागीदारी एवं 7 पदक जीतकर नया रिकॉर्ड बनाने वाला हमारा भारत गणराज्य और उसके उत्तर में स्थित ओलंपिक खेलों में आधे से ज्यादा यानी 4 पदक जीतने वाला एक राज्य हरियाणा के अंतिम छोर पर पश्चिम में सरस्वती नदी के तट पर बसा हुआ और डेरा सरसाई नाथ से गहरा संबंध रखने वाला 1 सितंबर 1975 को बना जिला सिरसा के चौटाला कस्बे के समीप एक छोटे से गांव तेजाखेड़ा में चौधरी लेखराम और श्रीमती सुगुना देवी के घर उत्तर रत्न के रूप में जन्मे स्वतंत्रता सेनानी, आजाद भारत के उप प्रधानमंत्री, हरियाणा के पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री चौधरी देवीलाल जी के नाम पर 2 अप्रैल 2003 को स्थापित चौधरी देवीलाल विश्वविद्यालय सिरसा द्वारा आयोजित तृतीय पूर्व छात्र मिलन समारोह में जुड़ने पर और अपना कीमती वक्त देने पर आजाद भारत में रहने वाले सभी भारतवासियों को हम सबकी मातृभाषा हिंदी में नमस्ते, संस्कृत में नमः है, उर्दू जुबान के प्रेमियों को वालेकुम सलाम, पड़ोसी राज्य राजस्थान वासियों को पधारो मारे देश, पड़ोसी राज्य पंजाब वासियों को जी आया नु, और हरियाणा की माटी से संबंध रखने वाले, हरियाणा एक हरियाणवी एक का उद्घोष करने वाले हरियाणा वासियों को दोनों हाथ जोड़कर राम राम। मैं सुरेंद्र सिंह, पूर्व छात्र संघ के निदेशक होने के नाते मैं विश्वविद्यालय की पूर्व छात्र संघ के संरक्षक, निदेशक, अध्यक्ष, उपाध्यक्ष, सभी समन्वयकों, वित्तीय सलाहकार, सचिव, सह सचिव और खजांची की तरफ से आप सभी का धन्यवाद करता हूं। हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैदराबाद में जन्मे 12 जून 1947 को पैदा हुए विज्ञान स्नातक, 1965 में राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ में शामिल होने वाले, आपातकाल के दौरान जेल जाने वाले, 1991 में पहली बार सिकंदराबाद निर्वाचन क्षेत्र से लोकसभा के लिए चुने जाने वाले, 1997 में राज्य इकाई के लिए पार्टी अध्यक्ष नियुक्त होने वाले, 1998 में फिर से लोकसभा के लिए चुने जाने वाले और माननीय अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी के दूसरे मंत्रालय में शहरी विकास राज्य मंत्री के रूप में कार्य करने वाले, 1999 में लगातार तीसरी बार चुने जाने वाले और फिर से वाजपेयी जी के तीसरे मंत्रालय में राज्य मंत्री के रूप में कार्य करने वाले एवं 2013 में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय उपाध्यक्ष नियुक्त किए जाने वाले, मई 2014 में अपने पूर्व निर्वाचन क्षेत्र से लोकसभा के लिए फिर से चुने जाने वाले और नवंबर में उन्हें माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी के मंत्रालय में तेलंगाना से अकेले श्रम रोजगार राज्य मंत्री बनने वाले धैर्यवान, शालीन, प्रतिभाशाली, सबका साथ सबका विकास और सबका विश्वास के सिद्धांत का पालन करने वाले हरियाणा राज्य के वर्तमान राज्यपाल के रूप में कार्यरत एवं चौधरी देवीलाल विश्वविद्यालय सिरसा के कुलाधिपति महामहिम श्री भंडारू दत्तात्रेय जी आपके सानिध्य में आयोजित तृतीय पूर्व छात्र मिलन समारोह में मुख्य अतिथि के तौर पर आशीर्वाद देने और हमारा मार्गदर्शन करने हेतु बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। दीनबंधु छोटूराम विज्ञान एवं प्रौद्योगिकी विश्वविद्यालय एवं भगत फूल सिंह महिला विश्वविद्यालय कानपुर कला, हरियाणा का सबसे पहला राज्य महिला विश्वविद्यालय परिवार के मुखिया प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर राजेंद्र कुमार अनायत जी तृतीय पूर्व छात्र मिलन समारोह में सम्मानित अतिथि के तौर पर शामिल होकर इस कार्यक्रम की शोभा बढ़ाने पर मैं आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। चौधरी देवीलाल विश्वविद्यालय परिवार के मुखिया, पूर्व छात्र संघ के संरक्षक माननीय कुलपति चौधरी देवीलाल विश्वविद्यालय सिरसा के प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर अजमेर सिंह मलिक जी आपके सानिध्य में आयोजित यह समारोह में पहुंचने पर आप और प्रफुल्लित होने पर मैं आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। यहां पधारे विभिन्न प्रबुद्धजनों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। प्रशासनिक मामलों में कुलपति जी के सहयोगी विश्वविद्यालय के कुल सचिव प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर राकेश वधवा जी का यहां पहुंचने पर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। विश्वविद्यालय के विभिन्न विभागों के अध्यक्षों, अधिष्ठाताओं, निदेशकों, अध्यापक वृंद व कर्मचारी गण का इस समारोह में शामिल होने पर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मेरे मित्र तुल्य पत्रकार बंधुओं, छायाकार बंधुओं एवं चित्रकार बंधुओं, आपका इस समारोह में जुड़ने पर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। The last but not the least, I extend my sincere word of thanks to the esteemed alumni and special guest on the behalf of the alma mater, that is Chaudhary Devilal University Sirsa, who joined this meet today and grace the occasion and make it a grand success. Further, I welcome you all to extend the support to the coming generations for changing the paradigms of the university and the universe. Therefore, I wish to read these lines and end my welcome speech. सिर्फ हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, मेरी कोशिश है कि ये सूरत बदलनी चाहिए। मेरे सीने में नहीं तो तेरे सीने में सही हो, कहीं भी आग जलनी चाहिए। जय हिंद, जय भारत, नमस्कार। जी, मोहम्मद कासिफ जी।
Thank you, Professor Kundu. We all members of the university family are very delighted and happy today to have Honorable Governor Chancellor Shri Bandaru Dattatreya ji as the chief guest of this alumni meet. Without taking much time, I invite Sir, Honorable Governor Chancellor Sir, for his address and shower his blessings to all of us. Thank you, Sir.
आदरणीय कुलपति प्रोफेसर अजमेर सिंह मालिक जी, प्रोफेसर राजेंद्र कुमार जी, कुलपति दीनबंधु छोटूराम विश्वविद्यालय मुरतल सोनीपत, पूर्व छात्र एसोसिएशन के निर्देशक श्री सुरेंद्र कुंडू जी, पूर्व छात्र सम्मेलन से जुड़े सभी पूर्व छात्र शिक्षाविदी प्रोफेसर साहिबान व प्रिय छात्रों, सबसे पहले मैं पूर्व छात्र सम्मेलन आयोजित करने पर चौधरी देवीलाल विश्वविद्यालय सिरसा के कुलपति प्रोफेसर अजमेर सिंह मालिक एवं उनकी पूरी टीम को हार्दिक बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। साथ ही साथ सभी पूर्व छात्र जो इस सम्मेलन से जुड़े हैं उनका स्वागत करता हूं। उन्हें इस बात की बधाई देता हूं कि आपका प्यार व स्नेह अपने विश्वविद्यालय से बना हुआ है। पूर्व छात्र व वर्तमान छात्र किसी भी विश्वविद्यालय व शिक्षण संस्थान की धरोहर व पूंजी होते हैं। पूर्व छात्र संस्थान व विश्वविद्यालय के विकास में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान देने के साथ साथ वर्तमान में पढ़ रहे छात्रों को शिक्षा से संबंधित बेहतर सुविधाएं उपलब्ध करवा सकते हैं। विश्वविद्यालयों के पूर्व छात्रों का जहां एक सफल उद्यमी, प्रशासनिक अधिकारी व समाज सेवी के रूप में समाज और राष्ट्र की तरक्की के लिए बड़ा योगदान है, वही देश व प्रदेश में शिक्षा का वातावरण बनाने में अति महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका है। आज गुणवत्ता की शिक्षा के साथ साथ कौशल एवं व्यवसायिक शिक्षा का युग है। व्यवसायिक व कौशल शिक्षा प्राप्त कर युवा देश के विकास में भागीदारी हो सकते हैं। मुझे यह कहते हुए खुशी हो रही है कि नई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 2020 में मूल्य आधारित शिक्षा, कौशल व व्यवसायिक शिक्षा तथा बच्चों के समग्र विकास पर फोकस किया गया है। बच्चों को प्राइमरी व उच्च शिक्षा से ही उनकी रुचि अनुसार कौशल शिक्षा प्रदान करने की शुरुआत हुई है, जिसमें ये बच्चे बड़े होकर नौकरी ढूंढने वाले ही नहीं बल्कि नौकरी देने वाले बनेंगे। स्वास्थ्य और शिक्षा सेवाएं धन कमाने के लिए नहीं बल्कि यह देश सेवा व जन सेवा है। पूर्व छात्र जिस भी क्षेत्र में कार्य कर रहे हैं उस कार्य क्षेत्र के अनुभव का लाभ युवा पीढ़ी को होना चाहिए। इसके लिए पूर्व छात्रों को विश्वविद्यालयों में प्रयोगशाला, इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर, शॉर्ट टर्म व्यवसायिक कोर्स शुरू करने में मदद करनी होगी, तभी छात्र कौशलता प्राप्त कर और आपको आदर्श मानकर उद्यमित के क्षेत्र में आगे आएंगे। पूर्व छात्र संघ प्रवेश प्रक्रिया, प्लेसमेंट, सेमिनार, कार्यशाला, सम्मेलन व छात्रों का मार्गदर्शन करने व सामाजिक जागरूकता जैसे कार्यक्रम आयोजित कर और समय समय पर युवाओं से बातचीत करें। इससे युवाओं में अपने कैरियर के प्रति नया उत्साह और जोश पैदा होगा। मुझे यह कहते हुए गर्व हो रहा है कि 70 साल में पहली बार प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में तैयार की गई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति में स्थानीय मांग के आधार पर शैक्षणिक ढांचा तैयार करने का, युवाओं को कौशल बनाने का प्रावधान किया गया है। सभी विश्वविद्यालय इसी अनुरूप व्यवस्था करें। विश्वविद्यालयों का मुख्य उद्देश्य होना चाहिए कि वे ज्ञान के पारंपरिक और उभरते क्षेत्रों में उच्च शिक्षा, शोध, अनुसंधान और व्यावसायिक कोर्सों को बढ़ावा देना है और उत्कृष्टता प्राप्त करना है। इसके लिए पूरे सिस्टम को मजबूत करने के लिए पूर्व छात्रों का सहयोग लेना होगा। निरंतर पूर्व छात्रों से संपर्क कर उनके अनुभवों का लाभ छात्रों तक पहुंचाए। विश्वविद्यालय वर्तमान में पढ़ रहे छात्रों को पूर्व छात्रों के कार्य क्षेत्रों व स्थापित संस्थाओं में विजिट करवाए। इससे छात्रों में भविष्य के लिए एक विजन बनेगा। विश्वविद्यालयों को चाहिए कि पूर्व छात्रों के उनके आवश्यक विवरण के साथ साथ पूरा डेटाबेस रखने और उन्हें विश्वविद्यालय की उपलब्धियों और योगदान के बारे में जागरूक करने के लिए कार्य करें। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने आत्मनिर्भर भारत की अभियान की शुरुआत की है। मेरा मानना है हमारे विश्वविद्यालयों ने आत्मनिर्भर बनाने में कार्य शुरू कर दिया है। आत्मनिर्भरता की दिशा में वित्तीय प्रौद्योगिकी प्रयोगशालाएं व ढांचागत सुविधाएं स्थापित करने में पूर्व छात्र का एक मुख्य संसाधन का कार्य कर सकते हैं। मुझे खुशी है कि इस अलुमिनी मीट में जुड़ने के लिए 800 से भी अधिक पूर्व छात्रों ने पंजीकरण करवाया है। ये सभी छात्र विभिन्न ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म यानी गूगल मीट और यूट्यूब का उपयोग कर पूर्व छात्र सम्मेलन से जुड़ रहे हैं। मैं विश्वविद्यालय के पूर्व छात्रों से अपील करता हूं कि विश्वविद्यालय को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने के लिए आगे आए। अंत में एक बार फिर मैं सभी पूर्व छात्रों को सम्मेलन से जुड़ने पर और विश्वविद्यालय की पूरी टीम को सम्मेलन आयोजित करने की बधाई देता हूं। जय हिंद, जय हरियाणा।
Thank you, sir, for your motivational words and blessing. We will try to perform in a much better manner in future. In continuation of the program, I invite Pankaj Sharma, an alumni of this his alma mater, from Faculty of Humanities, to please join and express his views regarding the organization of this event and about his alma mater. Thank you, sir. Thank you for gracing the occasion, sir. Thank you, sir. पंकज शर्मा जी, अगर मुझे सुन पा रहे हो।
डॉक्टर साहब, डॉक्टर पंकज शर्मा जी, आप अपना माइक और कैमरा अनम्यूट कीजिए।
पंकज शर्मा एलुमनाई हैं, एक सफल न्यूमरोलॉजिस्ट हैं और मास कम्युनिकेशन एंड जर्नलिज्म डिपार्टमेंट से जुड़े हुए रहे हैं। मैं उनसे गुजारिश करता हूं कि वो जुड़े।
डॉक्टर साहब, मैं मैसेज दे रहा हूं उनको, तब तक आप किसी आगे कर लें, कार्यक्रम स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं
जी। अगर मिस्टर विनोद जी एज एलुमनाई मौजूद हों तो वो ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं और अपनी बात रख सकते हैं। पंकज जी, आचार्य पंकज के से हैं।
आचार्य पंकज जी अपना माइक और कैमरा अनम्यूट कीजिए। जी सर जी।
जी नमस्कार सर, आप सबको बहुत बहुत नमस्कार सर, वाइस चांसलर सर और सभी गुरुजनों का मेरा बहुत बहुत प्रणाम। सबसे पहले तो मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि जो मेरी फील्ड है, जो मेरा क्षेत्र है, बेसिकली ज्योतिष से रिलेटेड है, शास्त्रों से रिलेटेड है। परंतु जिस प्रकार यूनिवर्सिटी में मास कम्युनिकेशन में प्रवेश लेने से पहले और प्रवेश लेने के बाद जो बदलाव मुझ में आए हैं, तो वो मैं आपके साथ साझा करना चाहता हूँ। तो सर्वप्रथम ये था कि ज्योतिष शास्त्र सीखने के बाद, उस विद्या को सीखने के बाद आप एक ज्योतिषी बन जाते हैं, परंतु जो कम्युनिकेशन था, चाहे वो क्लाइंट्स के साथ हो, चाहे वो स्टेजेस पे हो, या वो आपके पास कोई भी क्लाइंट आता है, तो वो जो कम्युनिकेशन था उसमें बहुत ज्यादा बैरियर था कि मैं अच्छे से कम्युनिकेट नहीं कर पाता था। तो उसके बाद जब मास कम्युनिकेशन में एडमिशन लिया और गुरुजनों का सानिध्य मिला और यूनिवर्सिटी ने मुझे स्टेज प्रोवाइड किए, यूनिवर्सिटी ने मुझे मंच प्रदान किया, तो उस मंच प्राप्त करने के बाद, मंच मिलने के बाद जो मेरी फील्ड है उसमें बहुत ज्यादा सुधार हुआ और मतलब मैं ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस से ज्योतिष के बारे में, न्यूमरोलॉजी के बारे में मैं ज्यादा, जिसको बोलते हैं हम लोग, की ज्यादा अच्छे से बात कर सकता हूं अपने क्लाइंट्स के साथ, अपने व्यूअर्स के साथ। और यूट्यूब पे, गूगल पे, इंस्टा पे, फेसबुक पे कई प्लेटफॉर्म है और एक एस्ट्रोटॉक नाम की एक एप्लीकेशन भी है, वहां पर भी मैं अपनी सेवाएं देता हूं। और अगर आज इस मुकाम पर पहुंचने का कोई श्रेय है तो वो चौधरी देवीलाल विश्वविद्यालय को है और वो मेरे गुरुजनों का है, जिन्होंने सर्वप्रथम मुझे स्टेज पर आमंत्रित किया, निमंत्रित किया और स्टेज पर बोलने का जो मौका था मुझे प्रदान किया सर। जी सर।
थैंक यू पंकज जी अपनी बात रखने के लिए।
धन्यवाद सर।
In continuation of the program, it is our honor to have Professor Rajendra Kumar Anayat ji, Vice Chancellor Bhagat Phool Singh Mahila Vishwavidyalaya Kanpur and Deen Bandhu Chotu Ram University for Science and Technology Murtal. Thank you sir for gracing the occasion. I invite you for your address. Please sir.
Thank you so much. Most respected and honorable Chancellor, Governor of Chaudhary Devilal University, Shri Bandaru Dattatreya ji, and our effervescent, active Vice Chancellor Saab, Professor Ajmer Singh Malik ji, plus all you colleagues. I'm Dr. Kundu and the entire team who are a part of this important program, and not the least the alumni who have already joined in this program. I believe the success of any organization or the name of any organization is just because of the alumni. I'm not just talking about academics alone, but any other training center. The name of the center became a part of the history only because of alumni. Today we know about Sandipani Ashram. It's not because of Muni Sandipani alone. It is only because we had a student like Lord Krishna there, or maybe Suthama. These are the reasons. Take the case of Harvard, take the case of Cambridge, take the case of any other big organizations. All of them have become what they are is only because of their alumni. One sloka which is coming to my mind is from the Veda, which all of us know, which tells each one of us, like, once we come together and once we work together, how that unity can be progressed as a organizational benefit and upliftment. This is not just for individual, but for the entire organization. I just try to recite it. And then maybe 1 or 2 lines, I'll just tell the abstract of the meaning, and then I'll get into my short speech, what I want to communicate to you. Sangachadvam Sambadadvam Samvo Manamsi Janatam Devabhagam Yadha Purve Sanjanana Upasate Samano Mantra Samiti Samani Samanam Manasahachittamesham Samanam Mantramabhimantrayeva Samanenavu Havishajuhomi Samaniva Akutiha Samana Hridayaniva Samanamastu Mano Yadhava Susahasiti Sangachadvam Samvadadvam Samvo Manamsi Janatam. Its abstract meaning is like, let us all be together. Let us all think in the same way. Let us all work together. That's the only way we together can progress. In fact, this is what our Governor Saab was trying to tell us also, how to bring Atmanirbharata, I mean the resilience in whatever we do in our education. And interestingly, the modern new education policy 2020 is giving us all these opportunities. All these years, what happened? Student was left in between at some point of time, because every exams and education we were conducting to find out how many of them are going to be failed, not to make someone a winner or how to bring success to an individual. Now the new education policy will help all of us to become a winner. Reason being, you just imagine, suppose I'm doing an undergraduate course, out of 38 course programs, if I fail in one subject, maybe in a BA economics program, there was a statistics program which I failed in final year, probably I may not get my degree. I am stamped as a failed individual. This spoils my entire life. Now that is going to be changed, because nobody is going to tell anybody what exactly you should study. You have your own options now. So the modern education arena will be like a supermarket where you go and buy whatever you want. And NEP 2020 has given you an ABC model, Academic Bank for Credit. This ABC will help you to put all your credits, whatever you are earning at some point of time. For example, you just imagine, suppose a singer like Lata Mangeshkar ji, if she were little poor in mathematics, I'm sure she won't be able to make a pass in 10th class. But can we imagine any one of us, the world's best mathematician, can he sing a single song in which how beautifully she rendered it and how the gamagams are reproduced? In 100 years of training, we can't do that. So the ability or the efficiency of an individual cannot be decided by just forcing some specific subjects that you should do it. So all those days are gone. Now the new generation kids have all this freedom. So they can even, when they do a graduation in economics, if he is good in acting, he can even opt a course in acting, another course in singing. And by chance, if you need to move from one part of the country to the other part of the country, nothing to worry about it, because you have an ABC which is owned by you. Your bank account is yours. I mean, the academic credit bank is yours. You put your credits there, and 3 years you want to work. Okay, you take a break, come back again, do a couple of courses, add some more credits. The moment you cross 60 or something, you get a postgraduate diploma After some time, once you complete a graduation, once you complete 120 courses, you will get a plain graduation. Or if you complete exactly as per what is prescribed in a specific course, you will get a specific degree in maybe in mathematics or economics or social sciences or everything. And another very important thing what we could see now is the importance of social sciences. We just missed it in between. I'm a hardcore engineer. I did my mechanical engineering many decades ago. And whatever I learned, maybe 90% were completely technical. I never had an opportunity to understand what is psychology, what is philosophy, how human management is done. Because now in the new arena, in the new world, what we need is the amount of knowledge what you have has no meaning. Because when a company comes here for recruitment, like Fidelity, a UK-based company headquartered in Gurgaon, they have more than 3,000 employees in Gurgaon itself. They are very regular recruiters in my university. So I asked them, what is the criteria which you are looking into when you recruit my students? Is it just the knowledge or the subject expertise? They just laughed at me. No. When I was doing my engineering, we were cramming everything, every equations, theories and practicalities, and we just mug up just to omit it at the interview. But he told, I don't care what amount of knowledge the student has. Maybe a particular student knows about a subject 60% in his brain and another 30% in that noise-making instrument through which you are watching me. Doesn't make a difference. If the student is capable of retrieving the data and information needed at the time of requirement, that is more than sufficient. Whether you record it in your brain or in this instrument has no meaning. So what we look at is how he can build a team, how he can cooperate with the people, how he can develop things, what is his commitment to the nation and to the society and to the environment. These are the points they are looking into. This is what we all were lacking in our time. We were thinking that if somebody is getting 100 out of 100 in engineering mathematics, he was called the intelligent guy, but that has no meaning in the time. So the new generation, the youngsters are so lucky that the entire education system has become completely resilient now, so that they have the option now what to do, when to do, how to do. And another important thing, you see, UGC has recently sent a circular telling that up to 40% of the content has to be taken from online. So you don't need to just learn everything from a particular place. My student may be sitting here and another student in CDLU sitting. He want to take up a course from maybe Institute of Planning from Delhi. One very good professor he want to undergo, he can go it, because that credit can be taken from here. Many of my students here, I know they take a lot of courses from IIT Kharagpur or IIT Mumbai and Delhi, because they know that these are the people, they can deal that subject in a much better way. So this is the flexibility they had. And hundreds of venues to clarify their information, whether it is right or wrong, which we never had. And see how the new Industry 4.0 opportunities have given to each one of us. And Japan is moved one more step ahead, what they call it as Society 5.0, because it is more of the societal commitments of the individuals. Now in the modern time, I have seen the students, they just don't take up a job just because somebody is offering a great salary. Those days are gone. They are looking at the working atmosphere, what comfort they are getting. Is it really sensible to work there? Is it give them satisfaction? Can they make a balance between their life and the work? Work-life balance has become very, very important. So all these things have come. So in this journey, what I want to tell to all these alumni colleagues is, unless and until you are a part of this, it is impossible to implement it. Because now the responsibility has gone a lot. A chunk of the responsibility has gone to the alumni also. Because without their support, not just I'm talking about a materialistic support and infrastructure support, but all other, maybe an advice from an alumni. Once in a while, you drop into the campus and just meet your young colleagues and just guide them, tell them what they can do. This is going to make a huge change in the coming time. because I believe by 2050, the education, 90% of the education may become or shall become online. This is what everybody is predicting, because all the walls, the glass cage is going to break. There is no difference between sitting here or somewhere else. A couple of years ago, I find it so difficult when I started just the beginning of COVID to make a program like this, because I'm looking at a blank screen and speaking, thinking that somebody, I was not sure that time whether somebody is listening me or not. But today I'm very clear. Out of 92 people who have gathered here today, I'm sure many of them must be listening me, as long as I make sense in my communication and the content. And one big advantage what I found in this platform is I can have a one-to-one talk, because every feelings in my face can be seen by each individual who are listening me now. And no other person can trouble him or taunt him, because he is sitting aloof in some place and somewhere. So the advantage is I can talk one-to-one. But I also have to change my language to a one-to-one talk, not to a crowd at all. If I'm talking to 90 people in a hall, maybe my language would be different. And you see, if the internet connection is okay, I'm sure the reachability of mine to each one of you is the same. There is no difference. And you also have the option of three monkey principle. Either you can put off your camera, you can put off your audio, and you can do whatever you want. You can keep your ears also off. So you are out of all these three, but you don't need to disturb anybody else. That's the beauty of this platform and the effectiveness of this. So I believe in the coming time, the infrastructure requirement of the university will change. We don't need this kind of 200 acre, 300 acre, 500 acre campuses, because the physical infrastructure will not have any meaning in the coming time, because all will be dealt by artificial intelligence and robots and high-end computing systems. So the course content development, the number of courses which you are going to offer, how effectively it is going to be delivered, all these are going to make big difference in the coming time. And occasionally, I'm sure some students may visit campuses by 2050 just to meet the teacher in face, because end of the day, human to human. Earlier, we were thinking that objective sciences, it is not possible to teach through online. But it has gone, because you have digital twin, you have virtual reality, you have augmented reality. All these will help us to teach a subject like mechanical engineering, thermodynamics, or all these kinds of tough engineering subjects and physics you can teach through online today. And the new realization is, but social sciences, where you want to deal emotions, they prefer to meet a human to human. So tomorrow, when you want to learn a sociology subject or maybe an HR management subject, I believe a student will come to the campus and meet face to face. Not like, because when I talked about a physics, I don't need to handle any emotions. It is maybe the three theories of Newton. I can just teach it. It is as it is, which I can't change it. So these are the changes which are going to come in the coming time. So these are the opportunities too. So the physical infrastructure of all these universities will be utilized maybe as I believe so. We have a campus here, 282 acres in the GT Road, wonderful campus. So this place, maybe after 20 years, 30 years, may convert it as a nice garden where entire people from the society can walk in and enjoy the surroundings, because I don't need such a huge physical structure. That is not the requirement of the future. So what it is, something like TRIS, what we call the pre-expansion period, what it was, it may go back, but the number of courses handling, number of students will increase. And today I know in the last COVID time, many of my alumni and even sitting students, they have done a lot of courses with Cambridge and Harvard and other institutions, Wharton, because they were offering n number of courses. So there are options. The wall is broken now. There is no difference. And courses you will have to handle. I was just surprised. This Oxford University conducted recently their degree examinations here in Delhi. They had more than 3,000 students appearing their examinations in Delhi alone. So this is the way the things are going to change in the coming time. And Arizona State University, ASU, in 2018, they offered a biology program. Can you imagine? It's a biology program, online course. But they tied up with the Google and Labster. You know that Labster is the world's #1 virtual platform developers. So Google and Labster handle the entire program of biology course, and the participants' feedback when they took, 95% of the participants were so happy because the assignments, evaluations, all done by robots were so precise and impartial. Their learning potential was very high. So when they asked, would you like to go similar programs in the future? Almost all of them agreed. So this is the kind of future what we are going to face. So the role of the teacher in the coming time is not the same what we are doing today. Every individual teacher has to change more of a rishi's role. Every vice chancellor will act as a rishi. I mean, he has to be a completely impartial individual thinking about the society and nation as a whole and guide the students. This will be the future, because there is no dearth for knowledge or information now. Information is ubiquitous. It is everywhere available. So how we are going to make the best use of it, that is what is going to make a big difference. So here, what I want to stress upon is, this is the time where social scientists' importance has increased. That's the time I am looking at someone like Professor Ajmer Singh Ji, a well-known social scientist. Their role not just restrict with the traditional way of teaching to some, subjective sciences. Those days are gone. I am sure there will be a professor like him heading a mechanical engineering department or a biomedical department, because that's the only way we can convert each one of them as a good human being. End of the day, if the student is not a human being, there is no point in education. So I think your motto is also talking about this. I mean, what is the power of education? That is what it is talking about. So if the education is not able to liberate an individual, sa vidyaya vimuktaye, this is what we say. So aya saya param karma, this is what sa vidyaya vimuktaye. So liberation is nothing but the bondage. We have to get out of this bondage and liberate our education. So this liberation process is only possible through a social scientist. We are all seriously thinking, even in AICT, we had a discussion, we all spoke about how to involve social scientists in engineering, how to involve social scientists in medical field, because otherwise, look at the organizations around us. How many of them are really faithful? I'm not mentioning one or two just by name, no, but this is a reality. So the requirement and need of such scientists are increasing. So this balance will happen in the coming time in education. When this happens, I think 30% of the job of the education will go to alumni, 30% to social scientists, irrespective of the field, and the remaining 30 or 40% will go to the specific field where they want to become a master. Because there is no point in mugging up any information. Those days are gone. Information is already recorded and available. So in this journey, what I believe is the role of alumni is very, very, very high. So this kind of meetings and platforms will help all of us to come together, like what I said in the beginning of the Vedic mantra. The same way we all have to get together and progress together and make our alma mater the best in the country or best in the world. So this is a wonderful initiation. I just want to thank Professor Ajmer Singh Ji for inviting me also to be a part of this great program. And I wish all the success, and thanks to each alumni, because I'm also a VC of another university. It doesn't make a difference whether I'm from CDLU or DCRES, doesn't make a difference. Every alumni is an alumni. We are all thankful to you for joining in this program today and making it a big success. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your motivating and enlightening words. We all promise that your words will going to work for all of us, and we may develop some new models, and we may develop some new strategy to hold all the things. Thank you very much, sir.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Now, in continuation of the program, I request Mr. Sudhir. Mr. Sudhir, an alumni from Computer Science Department. Sudhir Moore.
Yes. Hi,
Yes.
sir. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yeah. So my introduction you already have. I'm Sudhir from Computer Science Department, and I passed out in 2006 from Computer Department. And my schooling is from Sainik School, Kunjpura. That is like all my education background. And right now I'm working as CEO, Mavis Technologies Private Limited. So first of all, I would like to thank my staff, Vice Chancellor sir, for giving us the platform and giving us the opportunity to speak with our young brothers, young sisters. So the thing is like, as I know that this is to share the journey that we had as an entrepreneur. So the first thing I would like to say, I'm sure like everyone has shared their own journey and they have their own experience, and that is exactly what life is, and that is exactly how we look into our lives, like what we face in life and how we drive our life, and based on that we create our experience and we learn, okay, these are the things and how we can do. So the thing which I would like to say to everyone, that is, first thing is we should have confidence and we should always work towards like what we want to deliver. So ऐसा नहीं है कि the things which we feel and which I feel
Sorry
in my
for interruption,
career.
Moore Saab.
Yes.
If possible, please be visible through the video mode also, if possible.
Oh,
This is a request from our side.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yes. Sorry. So what I was telling is the thing that we should not only plan, actually we should work out, and until we don't work out, we never know about the live experience. And this I learned from my seniors and from other people. There are a lot of people in our life which you will find even in your surroundings. लोग सिर्फ सोचते हैं and due to afraid of failures, they never implement their ideas. That is the first thing which I learned through my career, कि बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं, they want to do something, they have very innovative ideas, but वो लोग जो है कभी उसको implement करने का जो है हिम्मत नहीं जुटा पाते हैं अपने career में. So that is the first thing from where our failure starts, because every failure is a learning. That is the positive thing that comes out whenever we are driving our life. That is the first thing, and this I learned from my school. My school, there was a registrar, Mr. Captain Ravi Shankar. He told one thing, and it was quite interesting and impressive, which I found in my career. Ki, we were doing some activities like indiscipline activities. So he told us one thing when we were in our auditorium. He said a very nice line कि जब तक आप शरारत नहीं करोगे तब तक आपको ये पता ही नहीं लगेगा कि आपको सजा क्या मिलनी है और कैसे मिलनी है. तो आपको कभी उसका लाइव जो एक्सपीरियंस होता है या जो फील होता है वो आपको कभी फील नहीं होगा, आप कभी अपनी जिंदगी में सीख नहीं पाओगे. And that is the one thing which motivated me throughout my life, and where I am right now with the guidance of our teachers, our university staff. Kundu sir से काफी close रहे हम, and I learned a lot from him. जो काफी like the way he guided, and the biggest thing is the nature, because teacher बहुत सारे होते हैं and you have a lot of like good teachers also, but there are some lines and their nature जो आपको मतलब guide करता है, या एक जो होता है ना personal touch जो देता है, वो कुंडू सर से हमारा रहा है. And वो जो है काफी लाइफ में जो है अच्छा भी लगता है। तो सर जूनियर्स के लिए मेरी एक ही एडवाइस है कि आप लाइफ में नेवर अफ्रेड ऑफ फेलियर्स, और जो फेलियर से डरते हैं वो कभी डिलीवर करते भी नहीं है। दैट इज व्हाट आई हैव सीन थ्रू आउट माई लाइफ। तो दैट एंड बीइंग अ स्टूडेंट, जो मुझे लगता है यूनिवर्सिटी में जो चाहिए, जो मैंने पहले भी शेयर किया है, कि जो हमारी डे टू डे एक्टिविटीज होती हैं वहीं से एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप स्टार्ट होती है। जैसे कि आप मैं एक एग्जांपल लेता हूँ। फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे डिपार्टमेंट का ही कोई काम होता है, फॉर एग्जांपल एल्यूमनाइज का डाटा कलेक्ट करना है, एल्यूमनाइज से कनेक्ट करना है, तो देयर मस्ट बी स्टूडेंट्स जिनको वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दी जानी चाहिए। एंड एवरीवेयर यू विल फाइंड अ लर्निंग, क्योंकि कुछ लोग जो है एवरीवन हैव देयर ओन थॉट, बट जब आप किसी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी में काम करते हैं देयर इज ऑलवेज अ लर्निंग। एंड आई स्टार्टेड माई लर्निंग फ्रॉम माई स्कूल, क्योंकि हमारे ओल्ड बॉयज आते थे। एंड लकीली आई एम टेलिंग यू, yesterday I was in Indian Military Academy to invite our current cadets of Sainik School Kunjpura for our old boys meet, and today also I am in Sainik School Kunjpura just for our old boys meet to welcome our new principal, and we have our old boys meet on 19th of December. तो ये जो चीज होती है, स्टूडेंट्स का इन्वॉल्वमेंट हम इसी एज से स्टार्ट कर देते हैं। लाइक अभी जो हमारे यंग ब्रदर्स हैं यहाँ पे, उनको भी हम इस चीज में इन्वॉल्व रखते हैं। ओल्ड बॉयज की जो एक्टिविटीज होती हैं उनको मोटिवेट करने के लिए, उनके लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर करने के लिए। तो वो जो चीज होती है वो मैं चाहता हूँ कि हमें हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी में भी होनी चाहिए, सो दैट पीपल बिकम डेयरिंग। दे शुड नॉट बी अफ्रेड इन देयर लाइफ्स की सामने वाला क्या कहेगा, वो क्या कहेगा, या पड़ोसी क्या कहेगा, या कि पेरेंट्स, द फर्स्ट थिंग स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम आवर फैमिलीज। When I started, I will not say that I am a successful businessman till now, but एक चीज थी, when I started in 2012, and my aim was कि जिस दिन जो है my package will be in 6 figures, तो I will leave my job. जिस दिन मेरी monthly salary जो है 6 figures में होगी, I will leave my job. And I did the same thing. The first salary credited into my account, I left my job, and then I started working on my ideas. And so far like I feel that I'm like, so far I don't have complaints in my life, and I have worked whatever I thought of. मैंने जो सोचा है वो मैंने किया भी है, और मैं अभी भी करता हूँ।
Okay,
तो
good
वो
luck.
जो चीज, थैंक यू
Good
सर।
luck.
तो
Thank
तो
you so
वो जो
much.
चीज, तो वो जो चीज है वो मुझे स्कूल से मैंने लर्न की, कि मैंने स्कूल से सीखा कि आपको जो डर होता है, and the first thing start is from family. जब मैंने अपनी जॉब छोड़ी, my statement from my father is, because we know like I am from a farmer background, तो फादर की पहली जो लाइन थी वो ये थी कि बेटा ये तूने क्या किया, and how you will survive, फैमिली भी है, आप इतने अच्छे उस पे थे तो अब आपने क्यों छोड़ दिया, या आपकी इच्छाएं बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गई हैं। तो and there were these negative things were from neighbors also, कि ये तो पता नहीं क्या सोच रहा है, इस टाइप की चीजें होती हैं। and these are the real things which I am sharing in my life, which I faced through that phase. And I was in a very bad habits in 2013, but through that,
Excuse me, Morsab.
हाँ जी,
You please do come to the university. We will talk together and we'll have a motivation lecture in the university offline. And since it is a scheduled program, please cut short
okay.
your.
So I'm
But
closing.
with the promise, you will come to my university for a motivational lecture.
Sure, I will. तो
Thank
सर
you.
एक छोटी सी चीज है, that you should work out what you want to do. That is the only thing. Never afraid of failures in life. आप कभी भी जो है, and we should not even think about कि कौन क्या कहता है, क्या सोचता है, but we should work out on our ideas.
Thank you Sudhir ji.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you
Thanks,
Sudhir ji.
Salim.
और ये this is the utility and beauty of this online platform, that by facing different type of hardships, you have still joined this alumni meet and enlightened us with your experiences and your achievements. So thank you very much, Sudhir ji.
Thanks.
Wish
Thanks,
you all
sir.
the very best in the future endeavors.
Thank you, sir. It's nice
Now
to meet all everyone. Okay.
Thank you. And now I request Mr. Vinod Kumar, Assistant Professor, Venkateshwara College, Delhi University, to please join and share your experience. Due to paucity of time, please limit within a time frame. I'm very sorry, but it is the duty of my responsibility that I should say like this. Please.
Hello, thank you, sir. I am audible, sir. Yes.
You are audible. You are visible and audible, both.
Yes, thank you, sir. So, first of all, namaskar, respected Honorable Governor, sir, and Vice Chancellor of CDLE University, and my guru and mentor, Professor Surendra Singh Kundu ji. I, Dr. Vinod Kumar, extremely happy and grateful to my alma mater for the opportunity given to me to interact with all of you and share my thoughts. So, sir, I am an alumnus of the Department of Business Administration, and I earned my PhD on the topic of determinants of foreign direct investment in India under supervision of respected Professor Sultan Singh ji and Dr. Surendra Singh Kundu ji in January 2013, and currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Commerce, Sri Venkateshwar College, University of Delhi since 2012. So, sir, being a commerce and a management student, what I feel and observe that. So, what is the relevance of commerce educations in the life of a person? So, this commerce discipline is offering immense career opportunities in various fields. Like traditionally, we talking about banking. Nowadays, it is digital banking or e-banking. We live in the fintech age nowadays. So, when we talk about the insurance, so in the same way, we are talking about e-insurance, e-financial markets. So digital transformation is there. So on the same way, there is another area which is the taxation, whether it is direct taxation or the indirect taxation like GST, accounting and auditing. We are talking about e-accounting, various accounting models are there, forensic audit is there. So what it means, this commerce discipline is offering various learning opportunities in different subfields, and it is linked to the day-to-day economic activities which are performed by an individual as a entrepreneur, as a sole proprietorship, like a business, as a business entity, like a company, like a partnership from LLP, and whether it is a case of government. So by creating value addition activities, starting from manufacturing, then trading and e-commerce. So what I am trying to say that because this commerce education is offering immense learning opportunities, how to do business, how to get a money-based model which can contribute in a small or big way in the national income as well as prosperity of this country. So, sir, it is a true fact that technology is an inseparable part of business, and this interface through the Google Meet is an interaction of technology and business. Because when we are talking about a business model, we are looking about its revenue aspects, we are looking about its cost aspect, and finally we conclude by preparing a balance sheet of it. Okay, so nowadays we are getting technology-based business models which are emerging in the 21st century digital economy, and as I hear about job creations, not to the job seekers. So when a person wants to become a job creator, so this job creation is possible by getting good educations from the university system, and what I feel that university is the best learning center. So if a person is not getting this opportunity of learning or educating in a university, so I think that he is very unfortunate person. Okay, because in the COVID-19 also the vaccine which was developed by the Oxford University. So university is the best platform which provides immense opportunities for overall development, inclusive development, value-based education for a person. Okay, so this commerce field having one sub theme like the entrepreneurship. Okay, and in the previous speaker Sudhir ji, he is a first generation entrepreneur. So the first generation entrepreneurs are also evolving in the rural economy also. Okay, and we see and find many examples of successful women entrepreneurs in our country also. Okay, and behind this, the commerce and management education is the basic pillar. Okay, so with these words, I am extremely thankful to give me this opportunity to share my thoughts and being an alumni and alumnus of this esteemed university. So when I joined Venkateshwar College, and the principal ma'am asked me one question, so where is the CDLU University? You talk about CDLU. I said that so it is a very new university established in 2003, and this university with new leadership skills, new learning opportunities, offering many learning platforms to the students, and being a student of this university, I feel proud. I get this opportunity in your college, and I will prove my skills and my knowledge which I obtained from my university, which is the CDLU, Chaudhary Devlal University, Sirsa. Okay, so with these words, I again extremely thankful all of you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vinodji, for sharing your experiences. I wish you all the very best in future.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
In continuation of the program and with the time limits, now I request the head of the Chaudhary Devlal University family, Professor Ajmer Singh Malik ji, Vice Chancellor, Chaudhary Devlal University, Sirsa, and patron of the Alumni Association of Chaudhary Devlal University, for his address. Please, sir.
Good afternoon, all of you. First of all, I welcome and thanks most respected Honorable Governor Chancellor Shri Bandaru Dattatreya ji, who has a keen interest in promoting excellence in education. I met him and apprised that Chaudhary Devlal University is going to organize alumni meet. He not only consented to be the chief guest, but also encouraged me that you go ahead with this kind of programs, and all kinds of the sports are with you. I'm really thankful to him, and he associated with us, and that is a source of motivation for this university and for me as an individual heading this institution. My honorable guest of honor, respected Professor Dr. Rajendra Anayat ji, who has been the Vice Chancellor of Deenbandhu Choturam University of Science and Technology, Murthal, and also the officiating Vice Chancellor of BPS Mahila Viswavidyalaya, Kanpur Kala. I simply requested him. He honored like a true friend and a true academician. I met him many times on different platforms, and always talked about how we can improve, particularly how we can link the engineering or the production system with the needs of the society. This is really an important one, and that's why, sir, when this program was being organized, then I thought, then there cannot be anyone else except you to motivate our alumni and the alma mater for this kind of programs. And you delivered a beautiful lecture and told us what the university needs to do. We are sincerely thankful for that, and we would try to imbibe all those emotions, sentiments, and the goals and challenges you asked to us or to all the universities, the teachers also, to follow. We are trying to do that, and we will take up this matter in a very sincere manner, I promise you, sir. My worthy registrar, Dr. Rakesh Vadwaji, the university, we have dean directors of the university who have been contributing in building up this university, because Some of you may know about it that I joined last December in this university. And really, I'm pleased to say, or pleased to share with you, so much happy to share with you that the people working here, they are really wanted to build up this university. They are coming forward, taking initiative, asking me to lead so that we can become a university of prominence in this particularly north part of the country. I'm really thankful to them for that kind of the support. My faculty, staff, and above all, dear alumni of this university. With two, at least through this platform, I'm in contact with them now, and I'll try, because of the COVID situation or because of the need, we have not been able to invite you offline. But I promise that next time, because this is going to be an annual program, alumni meet, it will hold each and every year in this university. And if the nature permitted us, if the nature permit us, then obviously we are organizing this meet each and every year and offline, in an offline mode. I have a different kind of the role here, particularly in this kind of the meet. And that role is what the institution is, what the people or the society feel about this institution, what we have been doing, and what we have planned to do for the betterment of the society as a whole. So first of all, I would like to tell you, I would like to share with you all that this is a praiseworthy institution. A lot of talent is there in this university, among staff, faculty members, as well as the students. I'm happy to share you, and I'm feeling proud to share with you that in February 2021, when I joined this university a month ago only, the girl students came to me that why don't you open the institution? Why are you not going for offline examination system? I accepted their suggestions and did that. And this institution since then is working well, and we are conducting or meeting classes on offline, not the online. People are coming, students are coming to us. We conducted offline examinations, and everyone is sharing their effort. No doubt the teachers as well as the staff, everything is in order. Because of the effect, we can say that we have nullified the effect of the COVID situation in our university. It is all because of my talented faculty, my staff, and the students who are working, who are studying here. The university or the place at Sirsa, we are having a very calm kind of environment. Society is very much civilized, not aggressive. Soft-spoken people are here. And that's why we say that I'm a firm belief that this university has the potential to become more and more big one. And it is likely to be a bigger university. And Professor Anayatji, I hope that this university will be in the club of the prestigious university of this state, like your university. First of all, in this regard, we have taken the initiative. We have started 6 courses, 4-year degree courses, as per the provisions of NEP, National Education Policy 2020, from this academic session itself. As this Honorable Governor Vice Chancellor Ji was talking, Professor Anayat Ji was also talking about that the flexible system, that if someone wanted to join a course for a year or 2 years and then wanted to left it for some regions which are unavoidable and wanted to rejoin again after 2 or 3 years. We are implementing it, sir, for 4-year degree courses. Not only that one, for the information of our alumni, that in this university, we have already started to have that kind of the culture. The people, particularly the students who could not complete their degree within the stipulated time, they had to left because of some reasons or the other. We have devised a system by inducting them, by re-enrolling them in the examination system. No doubt, whenever they are approaching it. It has not developed as a system, but since it is there in the NEP 2020, we are devising it. We will do it in a better and effective manner. Only thing which have been obstructing us to do that at present, that we have not been digitally self-sustainable. So we have not been self-sustained one. But now the process of procuring all that kind of the digital infrastructure in the university, that has already taken up. Hopefully, by the end of January, we will be able to do, or will be able to create that kind of the digital infrastructure in the university. And it is not, again, the practice of hiring the digital services or the software services from outside, that we have left that. We are creating it at our university level. We are maintaining it and delivering to the students without charging any fees from them. This is the first achievement as envisioned in the NEP 2020 and as is required by the university system, particularly in an area which is farthest area in the state of Haryana, both from the national capital as well as from the state capital. Another important thing is what we are trying to do here in the campus, that no doubt we have enough infrastructure, physical infrastructure. But the university, although it's only about 18 years old university, and if we go by the traditions of the university system, particularly following the United Kingdom in that, the writings in the United Kingdom states that it takes at least 25 years to become a university. So we are still sort of 7 years. If you go by that ruling or that statement, that proposition, that as for example, this year we are starting a student activity center, because very important aspect, where the student assemble, where they exchange the ideas, where they can find out apart from this social networking, where they can share all those kinds of the things which makes them Atmanirbhar, which makes them entrepreneur, which makes them innovative one, which make them to identify their academic needs. This is important. This needs to be an important place. We have planned about that. Design is already with us, and we are going for tendering, or we are going to construct that kind of the place within the campus in the next calendar year. There is another important thing, is the third thing, digital and physical infrastructure, apart from digital and physical infrastructures. And this is the most important one also. That is, we have to focus on the academic activities. We have to bring excellence in those academic activities. During this calendar year, and keeping in view the needs as envisioned in NEP 2020. Apart from starting this 4-year degree courses, we revised our curriculums, and now PG curriculums are based on LOCF, Learning Outcome Based Curriculum Framework. We are revising the curriculum for undergraduate academic programs also, and the exercise will be complete by the end of December. All the courses, particularly undergraduate courses, from next academic programs which are being run in the campus, those will be offered both in 3-year degree programs, 3-year degree academic programs, as well as the 4-year degree academic programs. All the academic programs, those will also have the embedded skill programs. We already started it. We have signed a memorandum of understanding with certain councils which will provide us the curriculum as well as the training, particularly the training facilities, to undergo those skill training. We have already started it. The faculty, the senior faculty, not only the junior faculty, the senior faculty has already undergone the training programs so that they can train their students in those skills which are required. That's not a soft skill. Those are only a part of it. We are providing the skills in the area of the academic program of the students who have already admitted it. It is not only with the academic programs which are under NEP 2020, rather it has, no doubt, for certain programs only. It is already existing postgraduate programs also. We have started the NEP, we have started the embedded programs in providing skill to the students. We are trying to develop the academic programs as per the needs of the society, or adding the contents as per the intellectual needs of the students. We are trying to make or designing the curriculum in such a way so that there is a participation of the students, faculty, industry, and no doubt the experts also. Those kind of the activities are going on or have completed in certain cases. Another important thing, that we have created an institutional network of imparting skill in the form of University Center of Outreach Programs and Extension. This is again a very important aspect, because all kinds of the training needs, maybe the soft skill, maybe the skills, this is relating to the academic programs, the training of the students, placements, or the training of the faculty members also. Not only the faculty members, the staff also. We have created one center, and we have appointed a person as a director of that center. It will look after all those kinds of activities which cater to empower, which cater to develop the intellectual and the skill capacity of the students, teachers, and the staff. Beside it, the center is also entrusted with the responsibility that whatever expertise the university is having, that has also been imparted to the society by conducting certain kind of the programs. This is again an important one. There is another important area on which we are going to enter. In this society, particularly in Sirsa, no doubt this is a prosperous area. Business activities are quite, we say that we can say flourishing one. Agriculturally also it is an advanced one. But there are certain sections of population who have not been able to pay their fees or dues because the higher education, because of the liberalization everywhere in the world, it is going to be expensive, keeping in view the financial strength of that weaker section of the society. We are trying to explore the NGOs or the societies or the philanthropists who can pay for them, who have not been able to pay for themselves. If alumni or the alma mater of this university has that kind of the concerns, we beg for their financial assistance for those students. You can contact the Alumni Association and directly the university in that regard. Because higher education is likely to be a paid one in future. That's why my request is that please pay for those students who may not be able to pay for themselves. Donate this university for that purpose. In the next few months, 1 or 2 months, I'll be able to create an institutional framework for that kind of the activity also. And in the last, I'm not taking much time. In the last, I would like to request all the alumni who have been able to get something in their life because of their education, because of their efforts, and the university feel privileged or proud, privileged and the proud that this university has been associated with them in developing their competencies and in the progress of their life progress. That please create a perception about this university. As one of the speakers said, that CDLU is not a known one, because we are living in an era of market, and whatever is visible, that is marketable. So please create a perception about this university, positive perceptions. Try to make it known to all those who matters to us, who can help us, who can network with us, who can take us along with them, so that we can become a part of the mainstream of the society, particularly in the education field. So please create that kind of the perceptions about us, about your university, about yourself. And please support the students who have been pursuing education here in this university by guiding them, by mentoring them for employment, not only for employment, but also in setting up the ventures, particularly nowadays we call it the startup, something like that one, that will make this university much bigger. And we must strive, we must pledge for that this university, this is our university, let's make it bigger and bigger. Thank you very much again for all, particularly the most respectful Honorable Governor Chancellor and Professor Rajendra Anayatji for providing us the time and to bless us by their presence, and we are feeling proud of it and feeling motivated by your participation in this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing the policies, vision, and present development of this university among the alumni and making us feeling proud. So thank you very much, sir. Now, as per the program, I request the Secretary, Alumni Association, to please present the vote of thanks.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर काशिफ। मैं डॉक्टर अमित सांगवान, प्राध्यापक के पत्रकारिता एवं जनसंचार विभाग, चौधरी देवीलाल विश्वविद्यालय सिरसा एवं सेक्रेटरी एलुमनी एसोसिएशन, सर्वप्रथम विश्वविद्यालय परिवार की तरफ से हमारे कुलाधिपति श्री बंडारू दत्तात्रेय जी, जो हरियाणा के राज्यपाल भी हैं, उनका धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा। और उसके बाद जो हमारे साथ दीनबंधु छोटूराम में साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी विश्वविद्यालय के कुलपति प्रोफेसर राजेंद्र अनायत जी हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं लास्ट तक, तो मैं उनका भी विश्वविद्यालय परिवार की तरफ से धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा। उन्होंने अपने कीमती समय में से समय निकाला और हमारे विद्यार्थियों का जो पूरा एल्यूमिनस है उनका मार्गदर्शन किया। सर, आपने जो रास्ता जो दिखाया है, जो बच्चे उसको फॉलो करेंगे और यूनिवर्सिटी को भी इस तरह सजेस्ट किया है उसको फॉलो करेंगे। मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा हमारे मुखिया चौधरी देवलाल विश्वविद्यालय के कुलपति प्रोफेसर अजमेर सिंह मलिक जी का, जिन्होंने को ज्वाइन किए हुए गत 1 वर्ष हुआ है और विश्वविद्यालय के अंदर अनेक शैक्षणिक परिवर्तन अच्छी दिशा में देखने को मिल रहे हैं। नई नई पहलकदमियां विश्वविद्यालय कर रहा है। आप सभी एलुमिनस के साथ शेयर करते हुए मुझे खुशी हो रही है कि लीडिंग यूनिवर्सिटी हमारी बन रही है। स्टेट के अंदर किसी यूनिवर्सिटी ने एनईपी को लागू नहीं किया है, हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी ने जो है उसको लागू करने में, क्रियान्वित करने में जो है लीड ली है। इस सेशन से जो है 4 ईयर जो कोर्सेज जो है वो इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिए हैं यूनिवर्सिटी ने, यूनिवर्सिटी स्कूल ऑफ ग्रेजुएट स्टडीज में। इस तरीके के अनेक चीजें सर ने शेयर की हैं, तो मैं समय नहीं लूंगा, ज्यादा नहीं लूंगा। डायरेक्टर सर जो एल्यूमिनी एसोसिएशन के प्रोफेसर सुरेंद्र कुंडू जी हैं, इस कार्यक्रम में को सफल संचालन करने के लिए प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर काशिफ किदवई जी, मैं उनका धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा। हमारे फैकल्टी मेंबर्स जुड़े हुए हैं, मैं उन सभी का धन्यवादी हूँ, क्योंकि बगैर आप लोगों के सहयोग के और आप लोगों के मार्गदर्शन के इस कार्यक्रम को सफल करना संभव नहीं था। तो मैं आप सभी का धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ। लास्ट बट नॉट लीस्ट, मैं अपने स्टूडेंट्स, क्योंकि स्टूडेंट्स से ही किसी भी विश्वविद्यालय की पहचान होती है, तो मैं जिन्होंने अपने विचार रखे उनका धन्यवादी हूँ। कई लोग विचार रखना चाहते थे लेकिन समय सीमा की वजह से वो अपने विचार नहीं रख पाए, लेकिन वो सजेशन जो है हमारे ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर को या वाइस चांसलर सेक्रेटरीट को जो है वो सजेशंस अपने बेहतरी के लिए, विश्वविद्यालय की बेहतरी के लिए सुझाव जो है वो भेज सकते हैं, तो वो है। और YouTube पे भी 800 से अधिक लोग जो है 800 से अधिक एल्यूमिनस हमारे जुड़े हैं, मैं उन सभी का धन्यवादी हूँ। और अंत में मैं एक बात कह के अपनी वाणी को विराम देना चाहूँगा। इस आभासी माध्यम के साथ हम मिले हैं, याद रहेंगे वो लम्हे जो बिताए आप लोगों के साथ, याद रहेंगे वो लम्हे जो बिताए आप लोगों के साथ। अगर ना होती वक्त की बंदिशें तो बिता देते जिंदगी आप लोगों के साथ। थैंक यू एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
Thank you, Amit ji. Now, with this vote of thanks, the program is going to be ended. और आखिरी में बस यही कहना चाहूँगा कि I wish I could include all the alumni for their views, ideas, feedback, and achievements. I extend my best wishes to the alumni for this university, and expect your contribution as requested by our Vice Chancellor sir, for the upliftment of the society and contributing in all ways to your alma mater. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I may be allowed to close this meet.
Yeah.
VC, sir.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
पता नहीं कब बता
टाइम लेके सर बढ़िया प्रोग्राम हो गया।
ये मेरा कैसे लीव नहीं हुआ क्या?